What's up? This is Uncle Reg. Wow, with the T. Uncle Reg with the T. What's up, folks? What's up, folks? Today we're gonna get into this P. Diddy trial. We got to talk about day 1 and day 5. So far completed that. It's been an explosive trial so far. I'm just gonna go over a lot of stuff. So what's up? What's up, folks? Horn. So we're gonna get into it and stuff. So far we have I think I'm gonna talk about some I guess some updates and stuff. There's little updates, who's gonna appear tomorrow. Because it ain't over yet. Some people think it's over for some reason. I don't know why people thinking that. Oh, yeah, Cassie messed up. When she got cross-examined by the defense. Come on now, man. It's BS. They got so much stuff on P. Diddy. It's not even funny out here, man. It ain't even funny, but is it? I told you, I think that he should have bounced. I know that Russell Simmons called him. I know Russell Simmons called him when he bounced about it because he saw what was coming down. Russell Simmons saw what was coming down. He said, "No, I'm not going to lose this. I'm not going to lose my fortune." And right now, P. Diddy lost $700 million, folks. $700 million. They said he was actually a billionaire. We don't have really definite proof, but we just want to go with the fact that he was a billionaire. And since the time he got accused, since the time he had that beef with that liquor company, Dialago, which some people speculate that that's the reason why he's in the trouble he is now, because he went against the big boys. Kind of sued him and wanted more money or whatever the case, or wanted to split. They wasn't having it. Whoever they are, whoever they connected to, apparently they put the hit out on him. He screwed up. Maybe one of the freak off parties he did had one of their, you could say, relatives attending, and they got treated bad in the worst way, in a sexual way. Maybe never recovered from it. Maybe one of them died from it or something. I don't know. But I'm sure that this is some sort of payback. He fucked up with somebody big out there. Could have been Clive Davis. We don't know. His mentor. All we know that Diddy is in the hole now, losing $700 million. That's more than Elon Musk lost. He only lost $300 million, but he got no. Did he get $300 million? No, he didn't. I'm sorry, folks. He didn't lose more than Elon. I thought he did. No, he lost about $300 billion. Man, damn. But still, did he lose more than Kanye? Kanye, he lost about that much, didn't he? He was a billion, but Kanye got it right back. That's the difference. Kanye got his right back. Kanye ain't in this type of trouble that P. Diddy is in. I'm sure they're trying to get it, but apparently, they're not gonna get Kanye. I don't think they're gonna get Kanye. Kanye's too crazy, I think, for them to get. All right, so folks, let's go. Day 1 of the testimony. It was May 12th, and apparently The first person that was up on day one was Israel Flores. Remember, they had so much problem with the trial. You know, they had this whole bunch of problems with the trial. They wanted the defense wanted a delay, push it back. The jury selection, that was a big thing, but they got it squared away the first day. They finished the jury selection, picked the jurors, and then they brung in the first witness was a Los Angeles police officer, Israel Flores. He was a security official at the Intercontinental Hotel, March 2016. He got the call saying that there was a woman in distress. You know, he took the stand. You know, he said he stepped out of the elevator, saw Combs in the women's elevator. Okay, the Flores and escorted Combs Ventura back to the hotel room. Flores testified that Combs approached him with a wad of cash. Attempted a bribe. That was a bribe. People saying that, oh, he was just paying him for the damages and stuff. No, that's bullshit. I'm like, these P. Diddy defenders, man, they own one. Nah, I'm trying to pay him off. You don't give nobody no wad of cash. He was a security at the time. You don't give the owner that. But nowadays, there's cameras everywhere. And that's why the hotel, settled that lawsuit, gave her $10 million because they got cameras everywhere. They had to pull the cameras. Once it became an investigation, they pulled all the cameras. Them fuckers pulled all the cameras. And then Flores was taping his own self. Because he wanted to show the shit to his wife. So he taped the shit on his phone. So now, Diddy thought that when he gave him the money, the tape was gone, That was it. That wasn't the case. And he could have sold that to the TMC or whatever. Maybe he did sell it. I don't know. LAPD, shit, come on now. Now he is... But anyway, that's okay. And then he said Ventura later left the hotel with purple eyes. See, Phil would report incident after, but he didn't call the police. There was no victim there. Obviously, nobody pressing charges. And that was the first witness. Already, this implicated P. Diddy. Here, the second witness on the first day was Daniel Phillips, which was a male stripper for women. And he actually testified the next day too. But Phillips said that he was called in 2012 to receive money to have sex with Ventura. This is where they're gonna get P. Diddy at. Is on this sex worker thing. Remember, he got one charge for prostitution. Cross state lines. And he testified having sex with Ventura while Combs was sitting in the corner masturbating. Jeez. Yeah, but we like it like that. Okay, he said that Combs would direct him and Ventura as they had sex. Accidentally used baby oil. They have infamous baby oil. I mean, listen, how many crates of baby oil P. Diddy had? I mean, he must have had a warehouse full of that shit, man. I know he did. He had to. Jeez. Oh, he don't go nowhere out that baby oil, man. I'm telling you, And then Combs recorded the sex one-on-one on 2 occasions. Okay, then Phillips and Combs once took a picture of his driver's license and said that this was for insurance purposes, which was seen as a threat. So Combs threatened him, took a picture of a driver's license. See, I mean, he's trying to tie his loose ends, but it didn't work because Phillips got on the stand. Phillips recounted one incident where he saw Combs assault Ventura at home. See, all of them saw Cassie getting assaulted, dragging her by her hair into a bedroom. He said he didn't report the incident because he was afraid that he might lose his life. So these motherfuckers scared. And these motherfuckers out here keep saying that she's the victim. Y'all gotta understand. Woman could be down with all this stuff you do. But if she said, I don't want to do that no more, I want out, then guess what? Now you in trouble. It only take one time for her to say no. If she say no, you might as well just let her go. Boom, get another one. But P. Diddy wasn't like that. So that was the first day, basically. And then, wait a minute. I'm trying to look on this. I think the first day she didn't get on. I'm trying to figure out, did she get on the court? I forgot. But I know that she, I think she got on the second day. Let me go to the second day. The second day is when Cassie took the stand, folks. And I'm telling you, that was something there. Okay, Cassie took the stand the second day. Now, it was a witness 3 that was supposed to take the stand, but that witness 3 somehow ended up missing. They said it was Ginger Hahn, ex-girlfriend of P. Diddy. Apparently, she was supposed to testify, but something happened. She ended up missing. Now, some people say that P. Diddy sent thugs at her to, you could say, collect her so she wouldn't talk. But no one found her yet, apparently. If I'm mistaken, let me know. But nobody found Ginger Hahn. It seems like P. Diddy got a type, always deal with these exotic women, these kind of exotic looking women. He got a lot of them. So she was supposed to be the third witness. And a lot of people again thought that, this case, this case falling apart. I'm telling you, I can't believe the people out here, the men out here, that is siding with Diddy. I mean, they saying some real crazy mess about Cassie. She could afford this and that. She wanted it, she get good head and all this. I mean, they saying all kind of crazy mess. And people that I thought that would be like, hey man, Diddy screwed up. No, they sided with that, she ain't a victim. She a victim if you scared to leave and don't have the power within yourself to leave. You a victim. She could have left any time. Not necessarily. Not if you in love and you're emotional. Emotional is investing in the relationship. You thinking that you gonna marry this guy when he's just using you as the plaything. And I really think that he loved Kim more than he loved her. kids by her. What do you expect? Cassie's baby mom, he had no kids by Cassie. If Cassie wanted to have a kid by him, didn't. Hmm. Interesting. Maybe that's why they said he poisoned Albie Sure, and Shelby Sure is going to get on the stand too. Don't know when. Maybe sometime this week, maybe next week. I don't know. But anyway, Cassie started his testimony the second day. The prosecution, was up first, asked questions. They asked about her age and all that and stuff, the occupation, what she do, where did you meet Diddy at? Talked about the record deal, this 10-year deal that she signed, and only put out what was it? One? Did she ever put out an album or a single? I don't know, but she didn't put no albums out, So if you didn't put no album out since this many years, and you still signed with P. Diddy, how did you make your money? Now she said to the prosecution that she made her money hosting parties. Oh, so Diddy got her hosting these freak-offs. She's supposed to be an artist, supposed to be a musician, supposed to be a singer out here. She's supposed to be singing out here and making music like Beyonce and shit. This she ain't. Shit, this nigga got her hosting goddamn parties and shit. This is wild. Hosting these freak off while he's wild freaking setting it up. Setting up the arrangements, booking the flights with the travel agent. The travel agent was in on it too. Now I'm sure that the feds talked to the travel agent. That was helping them book these freak offs. I'm sure I don't know if he'd be subpoenaed or not, or her be subpoenaed or not, but they hooked up a lot of stuff, and she booked all the hotels. The 5-star. These parties happen in these 5-star hotels and stuff. And then they asked when she started a relationship. She said when she was 21 and stuff. I think that it was her birthday or some shit like that, or his birthday, whatever. They kissed and stuff, and that's when everything took off for them. And that's when the relationship began. Now P. Diddy was still messing with women too. And I'm sure that, she probably thought that she was supposed to be number one, the stuff, this and that, the third, but she wasn't. And I'm sure that she had a little jealousy for that. People saying that she was just Kim Porter because, during the holidays and stuff, he would be over with Kim and see the kids, which, a father's supposed to do. Holidays, you be with the kids and your baby mama, whatever. It is what it is. The side chick don't have to wait. Unless you got a baby by the side chick. So they started talking to prosecution with prostitution, prosecution, start talking about the abuse that she was having. And she said that at first it was cool, but then it was arguments. The arguments turned into violence. And he would smash her head in. He said kick her, drag her, stomp her. Did all kinds of things. He had these mood swings. And we know about that from the making the band and stuff, where he had kind of like went off, tore his desk up in the office and stuff. We know he had mood swings. And that's another thing, Don Richards testified like the third day, she talks about that. How he was just, calm one minute and then go right off the handle the next day. And then she was saying that, he was keeping tabs up on her and stuff. If she didn't answer the phone, he'd get mad. You know, it'd just be a manic about her calling him back. And if she didn't call him back, he'd get the staff to find her. I guess he was worried about her being with somebody else. But he could be with everybody else. It was crazy. And then they start talking about the sexual encounter where the male prostitute sex worker with that situation we talked about already. They talked about that. Now she did it, she said, but she was shocked because I guess that was one of the first times she was, Diddy had her to have sex with other men in front of him and stuff, and he just sit there and get off on in the corner or whatever, But and then she said that she felt controlled by Diddy, all facets of her life. I don't know. I mean, some people say that, hey man, you could have got out of this once you found out, you wasn't making no music. You was hosting these parties, but she was in love with him and she was getting all these gifts. But people say you could have got out of it. They say that she liked it and stuff and all that. This is what the defense is gonna bring up. Now the freak offs, they asked her when did the freak offs start? When did she start participating in these freak offs? She said when she was 22 years old. And she only agreed to do it because she thought that'll make him happy. Now, she did say that she was in love with him, and he used to stay awake for days doing these freak offs. They both used to stay awake. I guess with the freak offs, I guess they was like what, a couple days at a time and stuff. It just I don't know. This is wild, man. And I think it got too much to her to the point where she started taking drugs. Like I said, that second day was wild, man. A lot of shit came out on that second day, man. And it's just like people were shaking their head. The jury was like gasping. And not only that, I'm gonna get to it in a minute, but they said that she broke down crying. In the courtroom and stuff, we was asked certain questions, we was depressed, But the fact that she started taking drugs, that's another problem, because they said that she was on a lot of, Percocet, this and that, ketamine, all these different drugs and stuff, Molly's. Now she said that this is like the only time she can actually be with P. Diddy is when he was doing these freak offs. I guess maybe sexually or maybe whatever affection she got from him with that, I don't know. But as always, it was somebody else there having sex with her too. So either, I don't think he was having, when he had sex with her, she said it's like she making it look like it was rape or something, like it was more rape than just sex. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But she said that she took these drugs to disassociate herself from the experience of being these freak offs. These freak offs are wild. The stuff they said he did in the freak off and stuff, pissing in the mouth, that came out in the second day of the trial. That he made the sex worker, the male sex worker, piss in her mouth and stuff like that. The point where she was choking and stuff. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy work here, man. This is wild. So that's what happened the second day, and we all talked about it. Let's see. That's what happened today. So day 3, and this is the day 3 was when you could say the defense started to grill her. And at this time, they was trying to get some stuff thrown out of evidence. Oh yeah, they talked about Kid Cudi relationship. You know, I guess P Diddy found out that they had a relationship because the relationship was 10 years, but it was on and off. So when she take these breaks from Diddy, he'd be with somebody else or whatever the case may. One with Kid Cudi. And I guess Combs learned her with a wine opener after learning that she dated the rapper Kid Cudi during a freak off in 2011. And Combs said that to her that Kid Cudi car would be blown up, and it did. Got blown up. Did get blown up. And we all know about that situation with Kid Cudi and stuff like that. And I think she broke it off with me because she was afraid that he would get killed. And so that information came out. And then the prosecution was still talking, I guess, was grilling her. Not grilling her. The prosecution was still asking questions. I think they was up first to finish their testimony, and then the defense came in, and the defense was trying to break her down. Well, they said that, okay, the defense will cross-examine her tomorrow. So I guess it's the third day they were still, I guess, going through a lot of stuff. Now they talked about, they showed the jury the photos of her having a black eye, fat lip, gash on her forehead. You know, where she suffered, you know, I guess PD knocked her down. I think she fell down and hit a table or whatever. But there's a gash on her forehead where it's like a scar there now. You know. And then they showed 7 still images of the freak offs. We don't know what they look like. Only the jurors know. They're showing her with several different escorts. These was only shown to the jurors, not the members of the public in court. Present only in court. The jury identified the juror who was in the images. So that was explosive. I think with that gash on her head, she had to get some sort of surgery for that and stuff like that. Now, and they talked about the lawsuit, the $20 million lawsuit. See, first we thought it was $30 million that she got from P. Diddy. No, because we heard she got $30 million altogether. No, she only got 20. She omitted that in the second day, third day of court. She got $20 million. But then we soon find out that she got an extra additional $10 million from the hotel. And let's see. And then we, have. And then they talked about. Well, a lot of people was talking about, all the, P Diddy family members were there and stuff. Now they said that his daughters, in certain times in the trial, they stepped out of the room because it got real graphic. So the kids stepped out. I guess the twin daughters stepped out the courtroom. But all his kids was there basically. They come in as the big hoopla. When they come in, drive up through the front of the courthouse, walk in, whole bunch of press there. And we got a couple YouTubers out there too, that is, on the scene. You got Tisha Tell, she's on the scene. I think Jawa Wright was there. I think it was the second or third day she was there. I think they was probably in the overflow or something. There was a couple other YouTubers out there, that tell the tea or something like that. They was out there, getting in. But Tisha Tell is the only one I see that's actually there. Actually, coming out the courtroom, sneaking out the courtroom, in overflow room, giving us a bit by bit of what's going on. And I'm telling you, her views is going up, man. I mean, she got like 10,000, 15,000 views. I mean, she's on it. She's on it. Despite what some people think about it, she's on it, and she's right there. And I think she's gonna stay there for the whole entire duration of the trial. It's just crazy. That's what I'm thinking. You might as well. You out there. You might as well. Shit. Huh? And she said that the first day when she was there, she said that most of the people that is content creators out there, some of them got bodyguards or got security because they figure that P Diddy don't like, his family. They think they might be in danger or something like that. Maybe they got threatened. I don't know, but they got security just in case. Because maybe other fan people out there that maybe they don't like them and stuff might just try to come up on them. So I mean that's understandable. In these times, man, you can't. You gotta watch your back. Especially in this business of breaking news stories and stuff like that. So the third day, they talked about the book that she, and a lawsuit that she was going to put out. When that book was blocked. He did it when he's out. He was blocking all those books, blocking all those documentaries too. But you can't do that now. And then the third day, she said said that that P Diddy raped her. When she went to dinner with P Diddy in Malibu, 2018. And she thought it was a closure conversation, okay. And she said that she was seeing her now husband at the time. So she was with him, okay, coming to play for the dinner. Ricardo drove home, long pause, witness. And he raped her in the living room, just crying. And this is crazy. So she was with her husband still doing this. That's why people just going in at her and stuff. Wait a minute, you cheated on your husband with him. But so intimate voluntary one-on-one instance, she testified that Cone had a few check-ins and check-ins. So I mean, and they talked about the Kid Cudi, and then Cassie, then she testified that she wedged a knife in the door handle because At times, she was getting a lot of unannounced business from Sean, where it was really angry. So see, that's when that she should have left. You know, when it get to the point where you just not don't you just you fear your life, you should have left in and stuff. But I think she's getting it. But it took her time, but she finally got up out of there. You know. And then she said, "Hold on." I'm back. I feed this cat, y'all. Now where we left off at? Okay. Now Cassie said third day. We talking about the third day now. She said one of her friendships ended after the altercation with Combs. Okay, you said it was a best friend of 17 years in it. 2008, after an altercation with Sean, he came in and saw that we was going to do drugs, and he hit her in the head with a hanger and said nothing that it was a wooden hanger. Okay. So this is the time when she probably was on drugs, high and stuff before she got rehab and stuff. But apparently, like she got in with her best friend. Said that's bad, if you lose your best friend, because my best friend probably told her you gotta leave him, man. This ain't no good. You gotta get up out of there. And then it says here that Ventura saw Combs physically abuse other people. Well, okay, they didn't talk about this. Okay. Physically abuse other people, including some of his employees. He said recount time when Combs punched someone in the head. Separation on an international trip. He testified that Combs dragged his assistant Mia out of her bed into the deck outside the room where she resisted him and tried to take her phone. And then Ventura went on and described Combs hold her friend over the balcony railing at the Los Angeles apartment one early one. Oh, he was doing some big red shit there. That's some big red shit right there. Oh shit. I know a lot of these. Like him, he probably thought he was big red. Trying to, everybody like that role, that part. Or big red. Holding one of his artists by the legs outside the hotel railing. Crazy. I saw him, and there was an incident where I was asleep in my room and he came in, Sean holding her, and Sean was holding her and threw her into the patio furniture. Okay, and I saw him bring back over the railing and throw her into the patio. Yeah, that's some big red shit. And then this is the part where people was talking about where she started crying. People started crying and stuff when it was hearing this part here. That Cassie now testified altercation where Diddy beat her in the Las Vegas hotel while he was hosting a party in the adjoining room. Damn. Okay, he punched me, kicked me, and I was trying to run away. I made it to the bathroom, she said, describing he hid, how she hid underneath the toilet to get away from him. Now, members of home security management finally came in the room and ended it, describing how she had black eye, gall-side knots on her forehead, and she said that one of the home security guards started crying when he saw her. See? Dang, I wonder who it was. I wonder if they're going to get him on the stand. Patricia said that, he had to stay at Combs' home for a little while less than a week to recover from injuries. So he really beat her bad here. This is probably the time when she probably decided to bounce. Was thinking about bouncing. Well, once she got off the drugs, I guess. And Combs also was staying at the house with her at the time, he said. Combs saw her injuries in the FaceTime call. He told her to put more makeup on so the son wouldn't see the injuries. This is crazy. And then Ted Cuddy jury showed up. Okay. I'm trying to get to the other part. Some of the stuff I already talked about already. Okay. Now, hold on. Alright. Describe physical fights. Alright, let's go to this fourth day, man. Let's go to the fourth day. We're almost there, folks. I'm telling you. Now this is when the fourth day is when the defense start grilling Cassie. And this is when everybody that's with the P. Diddy, Free the P. Diddy crew was clapping, having, haranguing. Oh, he's gonna be a mistrial. There was mention of a mistrial in the fourth day because of Cassie being pregnant. And if they went on, they wanted her. They was trying to stall her out because they know that she was really pregnant, 8 months pregnant. She could have gave birth any time, and I think they was hoping that she give birth while he on there, and then, bam, they could ask for a mistrial, but it didn't happen, and they was trying to do their best to stall, with their questioning. They kept on reiterating with the same points, again after again. Hold on, let me get this. Fourth day. Okay. So, I guess the prosecution started the same thing. It started with the relationship with Combs. ask her about the desires of music, all that, and then talk about the early freak off, Remember, the jury, the defense brought out all these text messages. It was like 200 something text messages, and emails between her. And some of the emails, people said that it probably implicated Cassie in wanted to, you could say, was complicit in it. It was trying to make it where she was complicit in this. She wasn't a victim. The jury also text messages when it told Combs, "I love our freak offs," and when we both won, and she testified it was just to put words. The defense tried to use these other messages in the beginning of the relationship to characterize Virginia as consenting adult, not a victim, and coerce attorneys to legal accommodate. Okay, and then they talked about the other relationship he had. The material described arguing with Combs about his relationship with other women. So they try to put her out to be a jealous woman, and particularly with a woman called Ginger. Now that's the one that was supposed to testify. Apparently she is still missing. She testified it had some jealousy toward Kim Porter. Deceased Kim Porter, rest in peace. With the 3 children. He said, meanwhile, Ventura was suspicious of having a relationship with other men, including celebrities. Now, they said that Michael B. Jordan had a relationship with her. That's already fact. I don't think he came out and denied it. But he had a relationship, and Kid Cudi. Now, it's a good chance that she had some other relationship with somebody else, too. And then they talked about her drug use. The jury testified that, Combs both did a lot of drugs in relationship. She experienced the adverse side effects. Shirley Combs was explosive. At the time, they found out he was doing drugs, and her friends took the drugs without him knowing. And the defense attorney asked lengthy questions about suggesting that Combs was reliant on opiates, and any withdrawal from them would negatively affect his mood. And then this would happen is that the judge, said he wanted Ventura off the stand tomorrow because the defense should finish the cross examination before lunch, because they was lagging. They wanted to keep her on there for days as long as they can, hoping that she might give birth, and then they could just do a mistrial. Boom. And yesterday, the court had the prosecutor word that Ventura, who could have a baby over the weekend, but she didn't. But they was doing their best. But she got grilled on the stand, man. I'm telling you, she got grilled on the goddamn stand. So basically, that day was wild. That day was wild there. And then the defense attorney suggests that Combs was going through withdrawal in the days before March 16 was assault. And Combs' attorney reviewed the text messages of Cassie, in which the couple described having symptoms of Estevido, suggests that it's consistent with withdrawals. Okay. And I don't know what that word is. Okay, Ventura testified that she does not remember Combs going through withdrawal at the time. She acknowledged the text appeared to suggest he was sick at the time. Now, this is the defense asked Ventura to confirm baby oil was not laced with drugs. The defense, that's Anna Escovedo. Okay, that's the attorney. Okay, asked Ventura to confirm the baby Johnson oil they used, freak out, never was laced with drugs. The defense attorney also asked to confirm found that the baby pool would take a lot of baby oil, and it might explain why he not can't kept a lot of baby oil in hand. Okay, the judge, sustained an objection to the question. Okay, large amount of baby oil recovered in the search. And okay, according to the increment at a time, law enforcement seized a various freak-off supply, including drugs and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil at his home. So the baby oil wasn't laced with nothing. I thought it was laced with something. Now, this is where the defense returned testimony and on the incident with her son and Suge Knight. And the Suge got mad when he was mentioned. He found out he was mentioned, of course. They caught him right away in jail, and he went off. Because they said they was looking for Suge Knight. Nothing didn't happen to Suge Knight. Suge Knight's still living. But the defense, okay, and Escovedo returned to cast the previous testimony over time when Combs' rival, Suge Knight, was nearby, and he and the security guard quickly packed up and drove there. Escovedo pointed out that the report was investigated after they met with Ventura in June 2024, which said she told them he was brought along into the car and cried. Okay, Ventura said that that was incorrect. Okay, I didn't go in the car with them. I guess they were trying to say that she went in the car with them, but she didn't. Okay. Her testimony said that, the rival Suge Knight former rapper since 28 years, Okay, but they was going to kill him. I guess they were going out there, going to try to kill him. They had a restaurant or something, and they wanted to get at him, but that never happened. But Suge found out. He went on live and from jail cell and went in and told the truth about what happened. So they really talked about a lot of the drug use, Combs overdose on painkillers. So I didn't know that P. Diddy overdosed on painkillers. Okay, he dosed in 2012, and it was. The judge said it was on that day that they had a freak off. No freak off or something, man. Went to a sex club before Combs went out with her to party at the Playboy Mansion. Having the Playboy Mansion, none of them over there get in trouble, do they? Hugh Hefner never get in trouble. He probably did all kind of crazy shit. Never get in trouble. And from what he told me, he took a very strong opiate that night, but we didn't know what was happening. So we took him to the hospital. So, and they talk about how Combs dangled her friend over a balcony, doing the big red shit from the 5 Heartbeats. Y'all remember that? And then, Combs used the industry clout to control Cassidy's career and avoid consequences, what the music editor said. Okay, let me read this here. Okay, somebody did control Cassidy's career through her record deal with his company and clout and industry as a whole. Okay, according to the music editor from Variety. Okay, 2011, Ventura had only made one album. So all this time, you only made one album. You signed a 10-year deal and only made one fucking album. What kind of shit is that, man? You should be at least get like 3 albums in 10 years, maybe 10, 4, maybe. 10-year deal, Bad Boy label. That's what I'm saying. The way he ran his record company, man, was insane, man. None of most artists never got the real money they got. They got thrown in jail. hold the rights to their names, publishing money they owe. I mean, that's why he got to be a billionaire, because he jerked everybody. And he said described her as mid-level star at the time. Yeah, remember, people. Yeah, she look good. She got the look and stuff, but she don't have the talent. I'm just saying. Back in the day, someone like her would have never got signed to no major record company. Period. I'm just saying. We can go all the way back 20 years. We can go back 10 years. We can go back, 20. I had to go back 20, 30, 40 years. Ain't no way she'll be signed and nothing. She had the best way she'd be doing would probably be a backup singer. Especially the days Whitney Houston started. Now, no, hell no. They'll probably get one album out and that's it. This and that, third, boom, and that's it. But anyway, she said that while most record companies signed similar long-term deals, 7 albums was usually the standard. Venture was very restrictive, added that the deal was like lock you up for your whole career and then some. Aswar said that despite the development reputation around the industry having temper, he being invited, the fear stuck in others, insulating him from consequences, and kept certain things from coming to light. Okay, this is what they say. Okay, he was one, this Aswar said, the music editor. Okay, he was one of the most powerful people in the music business 20 some years, because he was so wealthy, because he had so many people who was willing not only to do what he wanted, but they were very afraid to speak up against him. Now, I've been in the industry, and ever since he first started coming around, basically, and you heard about his temper, you heard the people was afraid of him, the violence was a matter of public record. I did not hear about the freak off. I did not hear about a lot of these things that are coming out to light now, and neither did a lot of people that I know. So they saying that they didn't have none of these people that was in the industry to do about these freak offs. Now, I don't know about that. Maybe they just saying that just to stay out and get, deep in this shit. Like Ventura said her friends knew about the abuse because sometimes they witnesses. Now they talk about the actor Michael B. Jordan was named and brought up by the defense. And she started dating actor B. Jordan, and said when asked about it, Ventura said she didn't know how Combs react to this news because she wasn't with him to see it. Now, this is the defense. They said Ventura described how she broke up with Combs in 2000. Okay. Testified she broke up a relationship with Combs for a time while she was in South Africa filming a movie. She said she broke it off with Combs by sending him a video of another woman at the event, to text change with Combs and some of her closet staff. Ventura said that she felt betrayed by them for not telling her. Virginia said that she also blocked Combs' phone number for a time while she was filming. So again, he was with other women while she couldn't be with other guys. She'd be with other guys. Somehow she'd get beat up, and the guys might end up getting taken off the planet. Interesting. Let's see. They've been set up arguments on both sides the rest of the trial. Okay. And then they said that Combs said often brought up her relationship. His jury said that Combs often brought up. So he was really mad with Kid Cudi because he always talked about him. For some reason, out of all the people that did date her, he was more concerned about Kid Cudi. His older relationship with Kid Cudi, he said it often bring up a relationship with Kid Cudi, who was identified by name in the court. He brought it up quite a bit. Okay, she confirmed that she would accuse him of cheating on her. He would often bring up her relationship with Kid Cudi in response. So they were talking about they don't wrap the court up because she's pregnant and stuff like that. Talking about the sticky notes that he was passing. People was talking about that to his attorneys. And then Vertera said that she had a burner phone to hide the new relationship from Combs. And this was in 2011. Remember, she got with these guys when she took a break from P. Diddy. That's the thing. I don't think she just outright cheated on why she was with him, except for the husband. Maybe I think that's the part that they got her on. They talked about Kim Porter. Okay, we got that. The defense. They just going all the stuff with the prosecution. What stuff the prosecution went over, they just went over. The defense went over. And he talked about the surprise package coming out of state. He said the jury seen messages from Sunday and Ventura planning to prepare a freak off. Confirmed that there was time to home pickup and supplies and contacted escorts. In exchange, 2017, Combs told Ventura he was making plans for a freak off. Didn't hear from you, so I just put some plans in motion. Let me know to stop. Okay, surprise package coming from out of state. Just let me know I'm heading in the wrong direction so I can cancel. There's a lot of text messages. I'll say even more freak out presented to the jury and crossing examining. Okay, want me to. Okay, that's about it on that. Let me go on the fifth day of testimony. Now the fifth day of testimony, the first one to come on the fifth day of testimony, Cassie left. She was already on the plane, went back home. I said, y'all seen Binda. He was Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent who worked in the Human Trafficking Division Department. He's the agent. Federal agent was on the first one to stand on the fifth day. And she handled logistics for Combs, arrested on September 16, 2024 in the search room, Park Hyatt, where Combs was staying. They found the baby oil there. Jury saw 240 Ziploc bags filled with Johnson baby oil and Astral Glide. Okay, recovered the bags. The entryway closet. Okay, more bottle baby oil was found in the bathroom on the nightstand where the room recording. And then medication, a bottle of medication was found with Louis Vuitton bag on the nightstand. And Bina said, the name was Frank Black. The label to identify medication was, Clonazepam. He said, okay, the 2 bags of pink powder. Okay, that's that pink cocaine. Remember they was talking about that? Like young Miami was getting pink cocaine for him or something like that, or whatever the case may be. They was setting the deal up or whatever to get the pink cocaine, which was tested positive for ketamine and MDMA. It was also covered. And then, of course, the Bennett testified it appeared that the woman had been staying with him in a hotel. So they brought in the agent, Homeland Security, federal agent. I mean, they found all this on him, so it's just, he's already in trouble already with the drugs, just off the drug stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what these guys are talking about. Oh, he's gonna get off. It's gonna be a mistrial. What mistrial? And then Don Richards, which was member of Danny Kane music group formed by Combs, part of the reality show Making a Band, and she had accounts of violence. She testified and saw Combs attack Ventura. 2019, it said that Combs came in the kitchen where they both was and tried to hit Ventura with a skillet with eggs in it. Okay, that's what. And then after altercation, Combs dragged Ventura by her hair. He always dragged her by her hair. Okay. And she said that she heard the glass breaking and yelling, and then Richard said that she didn't report the abuse because she was afraid and scared to do anything in fear of what might mean for me too. Okay, the next day, Richard Combs asked her and another woman to come to his house, where he told them what they witnessed was a passion and what lovers do, and told them it was in their best interest if we didn't say anything. Now, Monday, she's supposed to testify. Again, I think the defense is gonna actually supposed to be, but guess who else gonna testify Monday? Ventura, Cassie, former best friend, and her mother. And then somebody else is gonna testify too, I think. They got like 3 people, I think, testifying. I think the other one's a male. He's gonna testify. So it's gonna be wild Monday. Now, Don Richard didn't report the abuse, like we were saying before, because she was scared of what might happen to her, but she's on the stand. But she did say that she saw him attack her with the skillet, and then there was another time she saw him attack him. She was in the other room or whatever the case, heard all kind of screaming and stuff, this and that and third. So, take the stand. So she's gonna return to the stand. We don't know what else she's gonna say, but we gotta hear what Cassie's mom gonna say and her best friend at the time. There's a former best friend. That's probably the one that's from 17, that she best friend for 17 years. Why she broke off from him. They's the one that was doing drugs together and stuff like that when Cassie got up on drugs. And then in the 5th day too, the jury see photos of the law enforcement searching Combs' hotel room. And and they passed around the little packets of pink powder, which is the pink cocaine. That's pink cocaine, folks. That's not no little something that's just pink. And not no pisky dust or some shit like that. You was eating when you was a little kid and shit. No, that's some dope. Straight dope. They said the next witness is a special agent who handled logistics with Combs. Okay. Okay, we know that already. Okay. Let's see other party. Okay, I think that's it. Now, Cassie's husband was there. Now, people saying that he was mad because, but he actually said the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife. Wait, hold on. All right, all right, folks. I'm almost finished anyway, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll come back next Sunday and do the recap again. I'm gonna do these recaps on Sunday only, so stay tuned. Every Sunday, I'm gonna go ahead and go live on here and do the recap on what's going down, just trial and stuff, and some other things. Before I go, I want to talk about Chris Brown. Apparently, Chris Brown, got jammed up in the UK. I guess it was he had an incident with some club manager or whatever the case, club producer, got in a fight with him, cracked him on the head, a bottle, stumped him out or whatever, and he got charged. Now this would happen a couple of years ago, but then apparently he was doing a tour in the UK, on tour UK, and they picked him up, and he was trying to get bail. They denied his bail. So now this nigga is stuck in England. Jeez. So they let him go. They gonna charge him with something. He might end up doing some time out there. I don't know the justice system or how they things work over there in England as far as how much time you get. But I know that they're stricklers out there as far as doing dirt. Especially you can't have no guns there. That's why all the taxes with knife attacks and stuff. You get caught with a gun, you fucked out there. You think it's bad in California getting caught with a gun. You get caught over there. I mean, that's why there's always a knife. If motherfuckers getting hit with knives out there and shit. You dig? So Chris Brown in the jam, and I don't think the president is gonna call the UK and say, "Hey, let my boy Chris Brown go." Now, if he said something good to Trump, and said I love Trump and stuff like that, then maybe Trump might put a word in. But nah, that's the president we got now. You know, you say good stuff to the bottom and stuff, he actually remember you. At least you could say that's better than other presidents. You know, at least you know he got what you call it out. Did he get who was we got out? A couple people probably got out. You know, hey, so famous rappers, they're doing jail time. It's what it is. But hey, it's the kind of president we got now. But Chris Brown is in a jam. I don't know how he's gonna get out of this one. And all stems. I think all his trouble started when he had that ordeal with Rihanna. He had that, he beat her up in the car, and even though she was hitting him and scratching him and this and that, still, the women is always gonna get the benefit of the doubt. You can't be the victim. They always gonna be the victim. Y'all got to act. You men got to act accordingly out here, man. You can't do this bullshit. You're gonna get jammed up. Look at this P Diddy, you know. Oh, she's not a victim. She's complicit and stuff. Nah, all you gotta say is no one time and your ass is done. Anyway, she got $20 million and then got 10 from the hotel. The hotel said they didn't want to have nothing to do with this shit. Oh hell no, this is gonna ruin our reputation. You know, we got all kind of people coming here. We paying her off. We doing the right thing. We didn't know this was happening up in our hotel. We didn't know this nigga was up here doing this bullshit. And I'm sure they reprimanded the people who was there at the hotel that didn't say they speak out too. They got rid of them. They tied all their loose ends. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got for the day. So, it's gonna go Reds, signing off. Peace.